YouTube friends, what you are seeing in the background, what I'm going to show you is what is considered to be a chain reaction. You are witnessing a chain reaction starting with a vibrating cell phone. And it's more correctly called a Rube Goldberg machine, which, as you can see, is something that starts off with a minimal gesture and ends up in a humongous reaction, continuous reaction, a chain reaction. Now, you may have been fooled by the title chain reaction. You were expecting a nuclear chain reaction, but this is where I give context again to chain reaction. And we are in a chain reaction, what I consider to be, this is a metaphor for what I consider to be a chain reaction in our emotional, psychic lives. There is a reality, there is a point, a beginning. What I consider to be the people behind the curtain, the cell phone vibrating in the beginning, is a group of people behind the curtain that set off a chain of events that we can't seem to stop anymore. You see, as this ball rolls along and kicks over the dominoes and everything falls down, this is an exemplary metaphor of the chain reaction that our emotional, physical world is in. And the reason I think we're stuck with this, and I'll tell you that we're stuck really in this ongoing ball kicking things over, and it's escalating, it gets bigger and bigger. It depends what kind of a construction you make in this kind of cute machine. I love this. This is quite entertaining. But the metaphor is real. And what I'm thinking lately is that what's happened is, or let me put it this way, I'm thinking about a solution. How do we stop this ball from bouncing and kicking over the dominoes or anything else that is happening? Started off by a devious bunch, the bastards that got this whole thing going, and the nuclear, this criminal cartel is actually a front for something that is much more sinister, that I believe is an extermination of life. We're no longer interested in continuing this magnificent experience called life, existence as we understand it, as life forms, biological life forms, that separates us, as I see, from the rest of life, the animal world, life in general, because we have a conscience. This is something that I've focused on over the last couple of years specifically in terms of a solution. And this part of us that is a conscience, the ability to bear frustrations of the things, as you see in the background, continuing randomly. Well, it's not random, it's by design. But that we can withstand the frustration of somehow drawing ourselves out of this circumstance, out of this chain reaction that we're in. We're inside this event. What you're witnessing is we're inside this event. And the reason we continue to be, and I'll make this a brief video, what I'm going to elaborate on is that we are literally in the headlights of the narrative that started with the cell phone vibrating at the beginning of this video. It's something that occurred way back when, wherever it started. I could go into this. I have my theories and ideas about Akhenaten, the Egyptian oligarch who took over the field. And we've continued to be in the headlights of Akhenaten and the types that set up these chain reactions for us to be part in. We are subjects within this chain reaction. Now I'll end the video here and go to, I'll go on camera and finish this off. And what I'm thinking is, as I listen to the people on YouTube, most of them, very few have I come across that have separated themselves from this chain reaction, in the sense that we're always on the defensive, that we're always having to attack someone. We're always following a lead. In a sense, we're always following a lead because we're caught in this chain reaction. And what's missing is for us to be able to take the field with our narrative, with our insight, with our inspiration, with, for me, with the art that I produce that represents being part of something that is larger than myself, not originating with the reptiles and the hyenas that are trying to take the field. And I'm doing it by saying reptiles, I'm still giving them the credit. But what I believe we need to do is shift away in some form, and I use my paintings to do that, in some form to present our narrative, to present our insight, our caring, our conscience. Because as long as we continue to focus on the people that have taken the field away from humanity, from all of life right now, we are going to be trapped within this chain reaction that they've created. And I thought I'd put this video up at the beginning. It's a great little video of somebody that's designed this, and they're elaborate. You can search this out. Look for Rube Goldberg machines. They're not perpetual motion, but it's kind of that feeling. It's quite entertaining. So that is my comment today, that unless we're able to pull ourselves out of the narrative of the people that are destroying, the people that are the barbarians in this, these degenerates, this really low aspect of our existence, and raise ourselves through our conscience to do the right thing, to present our vision, our narrative. And I think this is something all the people that are producing video and content, it's very important to generate somewhere within ourselves something apart from the catastrophe that we're facing. And I'm not saying not being aware of it. On the contrary, it is the most important thing to be aware of. But then begin to start to feel our own strength and power with creating the narrative that is required to actually present a solution for others who we want to be part of this. And I don't know how many it'll take. It may take half the population on the planet. It may take 10. I don't know. I think it has to start with not being in their headlights. And news media, the fake news and all of this is, yes, very clearly there to capture us into their sphere of thought and feeling. And we need to get out of that. We need to get out of that somehow. I feel this for myself. I need to get out of their headlights and continuously punish and brutalize, deservedly, their conduct.